Hi everyone, it's Patricia Love, your life's cheerleader, and welcome to our live Q&A on Wednesdays, which actually we'll be talking about that later because we're going to change that, right?
Yes.
Welcome everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. We have a few people coming on. I also want to welcome Miss Christine. I always call you Miss Christine. Why is that?
Oh, good morning. Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today, Christine?
I'm good. I feel like this has been a bit of a crazy month, but in a good way. So I'm doing well. How about you?
You know what? I have to say the same thing. It's been crazy. I've been trying to pack and move, and my house has been torn up, and I'm living with no sinks, and it's crazy. But for some reason, it's okay. I haven't gotten all excited about it, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think a lot of it is mindset, which is kind of what we're talking about all month in July in Life Cheerleaders. We're talking about mindset, and I really believe the more that you practice mindset, the more you practice being positive, the more you practice your thoughts, things don't seem to bother you as much. Or when they bother you, you seem to be able to, at least I do, we're able to get out of them quicker.
Yeah, I think you're right, because mindset is a habit just like any other habit, right?
Absolutely. It's a complete habit. And so we've been doing it all the time, and I've been practicing this for years, and it just gets easier and easier all the time. So this craziness right now that I should be in most cases, like my hair should be coming out, I'd be screaming and yelling. It's like, I'm really calm. And if I even see myself getting to that point, like every once in a while, I might get a little flicker of like, oh, I go, wait a minute, just breathe. It's just, you'll pass. It's perfectly fine. And I just changed my mindset from a negative to a positive again. And this is what I kind of want to get across today to everybody. And we're just kind of waiting for a few more people to come on. Here's a few more people coming on now. That by really watching and being aware of our mindsets, it really it makes such a difference in your whole life if you create these great habits and thought patterns. So, looks like we even have a question coming up here. All righty then, I love that.
That's been fun.
Yeah, there's one person that actually asked, so how do I actually have a positive mindset? I find it very difficult. Well, that's a very big question. You have to start, and you have to start in small ways, because again, none of us have ever changed our mindset overnight. It's little steps of baby steps of continually making little small changes. Like for instance, like the word challenge we're having this month. The word challenge is really to create a habit of thinking of a positive every single day, using that positive in a sentence, using that positive in your vocabulary throughout the days and throughout the weeks. So you get into the habit of it. And this is what creates a better mindset all the time. So again, it's just creating a habit. And I'd like to talk with you, Christine, a little bit about, and this will kind of add to that question, about some of the words that we say to ourselves. Like for instance, the word challenge that we're talking about this week or this month, where we put in there saying splendid or great, like the English speaking.
Brilliant.
Splendid today. That it's for a purpose. And those words are more positive words. They're more in the positive realm, whereas we don't really realize the small little words we say to ourselves every day, like for instance, gosh, I just don't feel good today, or I'm really not that smart, so I really can't do that. I don't know how to do that. It's the little things. So I'd like you to just kind of maybe give me a little feedback on that, Christine, and some of the words that we use in everyday life that kind of gives us that negative mindset versus the positive mindset.
Well, it's really interesting how we create. I mean, language is all about creation. We create an environment, we create feelings. All of that is tied to language. And that's kind of what separates us a little bit from other animals is language and our ability to create words and symbols. And those symbols are powerful. And so if we do not think about the words that we choose to use, we don't think about what we're creating. And Patricia, you're exactly right. When we say, "Oh, I don't feel that great today," or "Oh, I can't do that," or "Oh, I'm not good at it," we've just created that. We've put it out there. We've said this is what it is, and without even realizing it, we've sabotaged ourselves. There can be days when we're not feeling that great, but if we change the frame, the words that we use, we can actually make ourselves feel better. If we say something like, I could do this today.
Yes, I completely agree that words are powerful. And unfortunately, throughout the years, we've gotten into the habit of just speaking words and not really realizing the words we're speaking. So everyday life, we have a tendency to say, "Oh, I can't do that," or "I'm not," like you said, "I'm not feeling well," or "I'm not capable of doing this." And welcome hula, by the way, in case you're seeing her tail. Okay. And so they're so powerful that we need to understand that by saying these every day, we are creating our life because we become what we think and what we say. So we need to take those words of the can'ts, or when you say we're not feeling good, because if it's health problems and you have a cold, that you might not really be feeling good, as far as health wise. But sometimes we can just take that and even make it better, like saying, "I am feeling good. I am feeling powerful. I can do this. I am capable." And even when you say it, it gives you a lift. It uplifts you. That was another word of the day. And so it really, and I really wanted to make a big point about this because we need to be aware and conscious of what we are saying to ourselves.
Yeah.
And not only to ourselves, to other people, but yes, to ourselves. So please add on to that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when the question came up about how do we have a positive mindset. I would say a big key is the awareness. We have to be aware of the words that we're choosing. We have to be aware of when we are letting negativity into our psyche, and be aware of making that choice to have a positive mindset.
Right. I think again, awareness is a huge point too, because we have to sometimes just stop and become aware, because there's actually another question that have popped up. And so that's just why I mentioned awareness. It's like, well, how do we become aware? And it really is, you become aware by stopping. Become aware by stopping and thinking, looking around you, seeing what's out there, being more aware, being observant, not only of things around you, but things within you. And the more you become aware, the more you're going to understand, like the word you just said that was a negative. And then you're going to start seeing the differences between a negative and a positive. Because I know some people have a hard time, like you think it'd be really simplistic, right? It's negative and positive. But sometimes it's the slightest version of a word, like can or can't, or, it's capable or not capable. It's just things like that. They're very small little things that can make a big difference. Mm-hmm. And this is why I want to make a big point about being aware of that, because creating the mindset is really, really important. But we got to be aware of it so then we can create that mindset. Mm-hmm. So I want everybody to start stopping and thinking about what they're doing and thinking about where they are and how they're feeling, and say it to yourself, how am I feeling? Am I feeling negative? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling positive? When you start realizing and become aware of it more and more every day, you're going to become more aware of it.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And I think that it's being around people like we do here with Life's Cheerleader. We create awareness for ourselves when we spend time with other people who are creating awareness for themselves. When we purposefully have these kind of conversations, when we join in on these Q&A sessions, every time we do something like that, we are creating an awareness. We're building our awareness. They say sometimes the best way to learn something is to teach. And I would have to say that by purposely scheduling and doing these kind of sessions, Patricia and I have become really aware of positive mindset. And so as we work to teach it and we work to continue to make it part of our everyday conversation, then our awareness is heightened. It's just a matter of practicing.
Exactly. Again, practicing and habit. And this is why at Life's Cheerleader, like you said, Christine, we are constantly, doing words of the days or doing challenges, doing things to create better habits and making you more aware. And I can see the differences in people and just in their habits of coming into the pep chat areas. I can see how they're growing. Of course, that makes me feel wonderful because I see growth. And I think a lot of people, they think, oh, they need to have these, bounds, leaps and bounds of like, a change of like, I'm so positive now. But it's the little things that what they're doing. And all of a sudden they start feeling better and acting better. And I see the differences in people. And by doing this, by their actions, it's going to create another ripple effect out someplace else. And also creating another mindset and another positive. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's so important to keep practicing, just like Christine and I do. I've always been positive, but if I didn't have Life's Cheerleader, if I didn't have Christine's in the world, and I didn't have do webinars, or I didn't do a lot of things to create this awareness all the time, I too could slide back. We're human. We're all human. And we just need to practice this every single day. Just like one of the other things is surrounding your people, again, like we were talking about, surrounding your people or yourself with positive people, positive energy. Mm-hmm. I realize it's not always easy, but I know how, and I'm sure we've talked about this many times too, Christine, regarding trying to either show by actions to other people if you have to live with them or if they're negative, but just surrounding yourself, I think, by more positive people, like coming to doing webinars or coming into Life's Cheerleader or doing these chats or doing positive things every single day, it definitely kind of helps you work better with the negative people. Would you say that too?
I would. A friend of mine and I call it getting a refill.
I like that.
When the two of us spend time together, we recharge each other and we get a refill. And that helps in working with difficult people or difficult situations. Like when you start to feel drained, then you need to find a place to get a refill.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I want to use that because it is because we surround ourselves with positive people because it does fill us up. It does give us energy. So then if we're around the negative person or whatever, we learn how to handle it better. We learn how to deal with it better. We don't let it maybe, penetrate into our bodies as much. We're able to maybe put that a little bit of a shield up in some ways. It's like, let that energy bounce back to you, Mr. Person or Miss Person. And hopefully the actions that you're taking will start to rub off on those people. I notice that happens. I know when sometimes when I'm around people, because I have a high energy, that I also see the energy because I'm aware now. I'm very aware of how people react and how people do things. So I also see the energy that I'm expelling off to people and it's bouncing to them and I'm filling them up. Mm-hmm. And that makes me feel good because then I'm getting filled back up because it's kind of like a bounce back, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why sometimes I think we did one of the challenges was trying to do smiling at people. Mm-hmm. And it's hard when you're smiling at somebody, it's hard for them not to smile back in most cases.
Yeah.
And so that's just one of those ideas of filling not only yourself up, but you're filling somebody else up. That's all about mindset. That's all being aware of how you're feeling and putting it off and putting it off on somebody else, creating a smile on someplace else. Now they're feeling good, and they're going to create a smile someplace else. You really have that ripple effect, and that's a small thing, but so huge. And that's what I really am trying to get across to everybody today, and Christine too, is just by using these words every day and positive words and creating a better mindset every single day and a positive, you're going to start becoming that way naturally. And then keeping yourself surrounded by positive people, webinars, creating and doing challenges all the time, doing things to have a positive mindset. It'll make more awareness, and everything starts to flow. So when you're surrounded by no sinks for 9 days, no running water in your bathroom, you sit there and go, it's okay. And that's the other thing I want to mention is I say okay because I also step back and go, and again, this is mindset, I'm very blessed. I don't have sinks. I don't have running water. But oh my gosh, I'm so much better off than so many other people. So again, stepping back into the gratitude and being blessed creates also a mindset of goodness and positivity. And then you start really realizing what you do have and what others don't. So I consider myself really, really lucky to have a roof over my face, whether I have running water or not. I actually have one running water in the kitchen. So there you go. Some people don't have that at all, right?
Right. That's very true. It's about perspective taking, right? And that when we are feeling pulled down into negativity, and that can even be with the words with ourselves, like, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I don't feel well. Well, let's do a little perspective check. Because yeah, maybe I'm tired, but there are things to be grateful for as to why I am tired, or about being capable. If, maybe that's a little bit harder for me than I'd like to do it, but I'm certainly grateful that I'm able-bodied at this point and can do some of these things. And so get kind of doing that empathetic perspective taking and saying, it's not this easy or this hard. If I think life's so hard, it could be a lot harder for me, and it's a lot harder for other people.
Right. And I think that kind of all goes into when I said, sometimes we just need to stop. We just need to stop and see the perspective. And see perspective on things. So because it makes you realize when you stop, and you can actually, I think that's a good point of stopping every day and saying I'm grateful, or saying what I'm grateful for, because that's going to put you into a positive mindset, which will then in turn, those words you're using is just going to make it even better. Mm-hmm. So we have another question over here.
Definitely.
We might have it. Okay, somebody is saying that they're using the words. I've been using the words by looking for those things, and it does change to a more positive mindset. See, it does work. And what's interesting in this word challenge is, some of the words that were chosen are not that easy. Today's word is great. Well, that's easy. I feel great. I'm doing great. But there's some words that were thrown in there to actually wanted you to think about it a little bit. I wanted us, the members to think about it like that. So it wasn't so easy, because I want somebody to have to go like, oh, well, this was a brilliant day, or the sun was brilliant, and just by saying those words, though, it just makes you feel better, but actually having to think about it. So that is a challenge, but that's the whole idea.
That's why we have challenges.
That's why we have challenges. And so I think it's just wonderful. The other thing I wanted to point out that to create a positive mindset is what we kind of went over, but smiling and being kind and considerate to others and being grateful. But I also want to come in and not to eliminate is having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Both you and I have had very serious backgrounds, or traumas in our lives, in our backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people would say, well, how can you be so happy, and how can you have so much fun when you've been a victim, or from their side? And in reality, I just tell people that you need to have fun, because I'm not a victim, I'm a victor.
Mm-hmm.
And my life moves forward, so you have to have fun, and fun is all part of a positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's being crazy, maybe being a little silly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some people have in the audience have seen our little trailers, which, by the way, we're going to do a few more of those.
Yes.
Because fun, and they're silly,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes you laugh. And laughing and funniness creates very positive endorphins in your mind, that it creates another positive outlet. Just like exercise, laughing has great endorphins. Exercise. I've actually been doing more yoga. Oh my God, it's hard. But the endorphins, it really helps, and it really sets the mind into another positive area. So I felt like doing it myself, so I did. And it's making me feel much better, as far as even in my body, as far as feeling better too. But just anything that makes you feel good, but have fun every single day. Have fun. Do something funny. Laugh. If you can't find something funny, gosh, on Facebook, there's all kinds of funny videos. And we have funny videos even in Life's Cheerleader
Yeah.
that make you laugh.
I think sometimes I can get caught up in being too serious. Like I have a fairly serious personality, but also I understand the power and the need in my life for humor. So even though I tend to be a little bit serious, I seek out funny people. Obviously, I'm connecting with Patricia. What
are you trying to say?
Because people who help me laugh. And so even as a serious kind of person, I can still infuse humor in my life if I'm not all that funny. But
Girl, you are funny. Have you looked at your rap trailer?
Yes, but okay. So if sometimes I don't feel very funny, that's not true. And I think anybody can be funny, and it's just a matter of not taking ourselves so seriously.
And I think that right there, the wordage right there, like I'm serious. I think that everybody can be serious.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody has a silly part. I think everybody can laugh. And so I probably am just as serious as you are in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I think it's just being aware that, yes, I can be serious. Yes, I can be funny. Yes, I can be this. So don't limit yourself.
Right. And nurture all those other parts of us too. Like if I've gotten into a habit of being in a certain way, then I can nurture the other sides of me.
Exactly. It's just like sometimes I have to nurture myself, because I can be all over the place. And so I have to sit and be aware of this. But again, that goes straight back to being aware of your thoughts, aware of your feelings, which all plays in to mindset. Because the more we're aware of things, and just like we're talking about now, being aware that we can be serious and silly and fun and entertaining, it's all part of us. That's what makes us beautiful. That's what makes us a miracle.
Mm.
I mean, and seriously, because I don't know if my cat or not, has all of that. I think she's pretty funny. But I don't know if she has the same thought patterns as I do. But I feel so blessed that we have all of this involved in us. We have sadness, we have laughter, we have this, and just being aware of this, and then we can move forward and have such a positive mindset, because we're aware of where we want to be and how we want to take the next step. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just wonderful that the people on here today and who are listening to this if it can take away anything from today's mindset, is just realize that every part of you is great. It's just being aware of that and then creating that and moving it forward to more of a, maybe a positive laughter or more positive things, because we want to get you out of that, hey, I'm too serious, or I'm too negative, or I'm too this. So we want to easily move you into the positive forms of things. And oh my gosh, when we do that, and when you start doing that, your life opens up.
Yeah.
Your whole world opens up and creates a beautiful thing. Now, nothing will be ever perfect. And so that kind of one of the last things I want to say is, by creating this positive mindset, you will, when you get into that negative, when you do get into that sadness, when you do get into that serious part, you'll be able to transform it quickly or quicker. We're always going to have depths. We're always going to have sadness. We're going to have that. But we learn to create a positive maybe out of something. Instead of saying somebody passed away, or like my sister, and I've just lost a friend, another friend the other day myself, that just learning to think about the positives while they were here, and not that they would never want me to be sad. Yes, I will grieve and be sad, but also I want to have that fun and that thing just for them also. So just turning it around to be a positive. So we're kind of getting closer to our, our 30 minutes. So do you have a few things you'd like to add, Christine?
Oh, I actually just feel really inspired right now.
Well, that's good. You're feeling great. You're feeling great today.
Yes. It's so true that life won't always be a bowl of cherries, but how we deal with it, that's our choice. And we always have a choice in our mindset. Even when in our circumstances we don't feel like we have much choice, our mindset is what gives us the choice. And I'm going to choose to control my mindset so that I enjoy my life and I live my life fully.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I want to live my life, because I've been through tragedies. I've been through traumas. I've been through many things, and I will, ahead of me, there'll be tragedies, there'll be deaths, there'll be all kinds of things that I have to deal with. But by training myself with a positive mindset and realizing that I'm a miracle and realizing that I'm not perfect, but that's okay. And realizing that whatever I learn is baby steps. And if I don't learn it all today, it's okay also.
Yes.
And being aware of that really, really makes me feel blessed, honestly. And just in that, in turn, it just creates a positive mindset for myself. And so I know I will be happy. I know that I can have a joyful life, because I know what it feels like to be negative, and I know what it feels like to be positive. And trust me, I so like the positive. And I so like laughter, and I so like being silly. So, so I guess, so that's it. I think we got to our 10:30, and looks like we had a few people on here. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we didn't get to your questions, please come into the pep chat area of Life's Cheerleader and share your questions again, and we'll continue the conversation.
Absolutely. So anyway, thanks everybody so much for joining us up on our live question Q&A. And
next month.
Oh, that's right. We're changing it up because we're flexible. I believe it's we're going to every second Tuesday of the month.
Yes.
And so starting next month, I believe it's on August 11th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, it's Tuesday, August 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And it just works out better for our schedules, and we want to make sure that we, have it works for everybody too. But certainly can go, if you missed it by any chance, please, you can go into the Q&A and re-listen to it if you like also. So that's it for us today, and I'm so glad you guys were here. Thanks, Christine, and this is Patricia Love, your life cheerleader, and
bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Talk to you soon. Take care.